Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Lunchline Podcast, the greatest podcast that you never heard. Hey, man, y'all know what today is, man. It is Friday, our favorite day of the week. And as y'all know, we do it this time on the Lunchline Podcast. If you got paid this week, go ahead and give a big shout out to yourself. Yes, payday, man. Welcome back to the Lunchline Podcast, man, where we say treat yourself, don't beat yourself. If you got a few dollars, make sure you take care of your responsibilities, but make sure you go out and do something special for yourself. Treat yourself, don't beat yourself is the motto that we live by. You work hard all week. Spend a few dollars on yourself, man. You deserve it, man. Thank y'all for tuning in to the Lunchline Podcast, man. Hopefully you guys have told a neighbor, told a friend, told a cousin, told your mama, told your play cousin, your stepdaddy, your step auntie, your goddaddy, your godmama, all about the Lunchline Podcast, man, because y'all know how we get down here, man. This is the home of love, where we like to be an inspiration and we like to lift our people up, man. We like to see others, those who come in, leave. Well, what's the saying? I want you to leave better than what you came, as the church folk like to say. Anyway, so man, listen, I'm a big fan of black movies. Like, I absolutely love black movies. And if you are a fan of films, then I'm pretty sure you love black movies too. With that being said, I am absolutely done with the black trauma films. I no longer want to see black people in an oppressed, broken down, and beaten state. Can we please be done with all movies, every movie that deals with black trauma? No longer do we need to go and spend our hard-earned dollars to see black people mistreated, oppressed, depressed, and also put in a light of just persecution. It is no longer, I do not want to see or support those films anyway. We have enough of them. We don't need no more goddamn films about black people being mistreated and misused and killed off by some oppressor, right? So y'all with me? We got Rosewood, we got Roots, we got, I mean, shit, you pick a movie to help at all of these movies that deal with black people from an oppressed light. It's time to look at ourselves with who we truly are. And that's why Black Panther was such a fan favorite. Everybody who loves Marvels that are black absolutely esteems Black Panther higher than all the other films, just because it showed black people at their true essence. Very powerful. Controllers and rulers in technology. Black people, who they really are, man. Like, we are kings, we are rulers, we are definitely the chosen people. Not to come against anybody else, but black people are very unique and very special. Not just in the world, but genetically as well too. So with that being said, man, no more black trauma films. We do not need to see ourselves in an oppressed light ever again. With that being said, there was a new film that just came out recently. And it's the Emmett Till story. And I'm pretty sure everybody is familiar at this time. I mean, hopefully most of you are familiar with Emmett Till. And if you have not, or if you're not familiar with the story or the life of Emmett Till, then I urge you to go Google it. Like, for real, go Google it. Take some time out. Pause this. Run over. Google it. Get your history. Come back. All right. Welcome back if you did that. So with this Emmett Till movie recently releasing, I have not seen it. Not yet. And it's mainly because I'm familiar with the history of Emmett Till, obviously. But like I said before, I'm just done with the black, like, I just don't want to see black people like that no more. I'm over that shit. I'm over it. Like, I was raised on it. I was raised on Roots. You know what I'm saying? I watched Roots at like fucking 10 years old or some shit. So like, I have had my fill of 12 Years a Slave. I don't need to see no more of that shit. Like, I'm absolutely over it. The only taste of it that was a little bit different was Django, but at the same time, I'm done with seeing black people in that light. But the reason why this Emmett Till film led me or kind of pushed me to talk about this was because I have a very unique story that's connected to the Emmett Till story that I was told years ago. And as a matter of fact, I don't think I've ever told anybody this story. It was such a shocking moment, man. and it happened while I was at work, and I had a customer come in, and I used to work retail, and I had a customer come in, and he was sitting there, and, you get to chatting, you try to create conversation, to just make the experience a little bit better for myself as a worker and also for the customer. So in meeting this gentleman, he gives me, he started telling me about his life story, where he's from. And I'm going to read it to you because I wrote it down because it was such a wild story that I had to go home and I typed out our conversation because I wanted to always remember it in detail. So I'm just going to read it for you. This is like story time. This is a story time podcast. So hopefully y'all got y'all lunch all heated up. Hold on, let me plug in this computer. Okay, computer plugged in. All right, so I'm going to read you the story. This is story time on the Lunchline Podcast. I've never done this before, but I'm going to attempt to do this today. All right. So go ahead and sit back, and I'm going to go ahead and get this going. Give me 2 seconds.
Lunch money.
All right. So here we go. I met a man today who said he was from Money, Mississippi. Now, me, myself, I've never heard of the place. So as a, regular employee, I just nod my head, with the typical okay, just because the city name happened to be Money. So at that point, he had my interest. I'm like, Money, Mississippi? I've never heard of Money, Mississippi. So then he said that Money, Mississippi is where he himself and Emmett Till were born and raised. Now, unless you've been under a rock for the last 50 years or so, if you're unfamiliar with Black history, Emmett Till was a 13-year-old black boy who was murdered by a racist white man for allegedly whistling at a white woman. The man I met today said that he was almost caught up, by his own words, caught up in the mess that happened back then. He told me that he had just returned home to Mississippi after spending all summer in Chicago, visiting close relatives. And when he arrived back in Mississippi, he stopped to converse with his uncle, who asked him about his trip to Chicago. And afterwards, after talking to his uncle, he proceeded on home, and he decided to make a stop at the local grocery store, or the local store, before the walk home, which was a norm for a lot of locals considering how far the store was to the house. It was just a traveling distance from the store to the house was. So before entering the store, Mr. P said that he had seen a white woman talking to a white man, looking at him suspiciously. But he thought nothing of it before he went into the store. And while leaving the store, Mr. P was stopped outside by the white man and asked, "Where were you last Thursday?" Mr. P replied, "What? What do you mean last Thursday?" The white man grabbed an ashtray and struck Mr. P in the head. And Mr. P was 15 at the time, and he was able to challenge the strength of the man as the tussle started. Mr. P's uncle and other relative quickly intervened. They pushed the white man back up against the wall of the store and questioned him about why he had struck the boy. The white man's reply was, "You have to teach that boy some manners. You have to teach that boy to answer yes, sir, and no, sir." Mr. P, still bewildered from the head blow, said, "He didn't ask me a yes, sir, or no, sir question." Mr. P's uncle convinced the white man that, in fact, his nephew was in Chicago all summer and wasn't in the area on last Thursday. Mr. P also reiterated to me that how much him and Emmett Till looked alike at that age, and both could have been mistaken for the other. Mr. P's father was informed about what had happened at the store, and his father said that he would take action. His father contacted his boss. Mr. P's father contacted his boss, who had various connections in the area, to try to find out who the white man was that struck his son a few days prior. His father afterwards was informed by his boss that they had found the guy who had assaulted his son, but that he's already in jail. And that white guy was in jail for the gruesome murder of a black boy a few days ago. Emmett Till was killed the same night that incident took place at the store with Mr. P. And that same white man that struck him was one of the suspects. So that was the story. That's the story. And sitting there and listening to Mr. P these many years ago, this was back in 2016. There was a lot running through my head when he was telling me this story. And I just thought, like, wow. So the day before Emmett Till was gruesomely murdered, Mr. P, the same guy who was telling me this story, was the young boy. He was being accused of what they accused Emmett Till of doing. And that's why the scuffle insinuated. So what happened to Emmett Till, if this story is in fact, I mean, I can't fact check. I don't know how it will go, but if this story is true, it could have been him. And just sitting there hearing that, I mean, it's like, this is history. Like, this is something that I don't think anybody knows about. Or, I mean, I'm pretty sure people do in his family, but like, I just thought this was just like a profound story. And I'm like, my God, like, bro, like, the same person who did this to him, Emmett, tried to do it to Mr. P. And I know that, what's the lady's name? I'm gonna look her name up. But the lady who accused Emmett Till, of that gruesome, of whistling at her, making a statement or something, who the one who set the shit up and what happened to Emmett Till was because of her. They recently found an arrest warrant that wasn't served to her many, many years ago. So I'm thinking like, okay, so was that the lady that was outside the store? The one who lied on Emmett Till? And, you know, she was just, it's the whole thing is just like, I was in shock. Like, this is I didn't really know what to say. I didn't know what to say. I was just like, no shit. And I just thought that was just a story of like, just like, man, like, what happened to Emmett Till is fucking awful, man. It was absolutely fucked up. You know, this lady lied on him. This little bitty boy. And the fact that I was sitting across from somebody who was involved in a scuffle, and had it not been for, let's say, his uncle or his other family member being in the vicinity, then that could have been him. So this, just because I mean, think about if family, and I don't really want to go into hypotheticals because I want to be careful not to, like, insult history, but like, just the fact of like timing, like how shit just is like, my gosh, like, don't make what happened to Emmett Till any less disheartening, but it's like, man, like, bro, you just to hear this ounce of history, just to hear this different perspective as to what led up to what happened to Emmett Till, was, like I said, once again, just mind blowing. And so that I'm over the black trauma movie. Like, I'm absolutely over the black trauma movies. Like, the black experience is one thing, but goddamn, like, no more of these movies. And I urge my black people, if the movie is not edifying, uplifting black people in a positive light like that, don't fuck with it. No more slave movies, no more oppressed black people movies, like, no more of that shit. And I know there's a lot of there's a lot of Marvel fans of, and this is crazy. I know there's a lot of Marvel fans who are fans of the franchise, who are fans of all of the movies that have yet to see Black Panther. You believe that, right? So, and that's why the movie did so well. And I shit, part 2 that's getting ready to drop, I know for a fact that this movie is going to blow it's going to blow every Marvel movie before then out of the fucking water. Do you hear me? And listen, I wish it was a black owned series. I wish it was a black owned like film. I wish we owned the whole thing, but we don't. That's just the reality of the shit. But at the same time, to see black people represented correctly on the film, on film is a huge thing. Now, it's a damn shame that we ain't getting all those dollars like we deserve. But this movie, this Black Panther 2, mark my words, it will probably surpass and break all of the Marvel records, if not damn near close. Like I don't come on, because when the first one dropped, black people was out in there in dashikis. It was crazy. The support was crazy. And plus with the passing of Chadwick, sold out. I think it's November the 22nd. Let me see what the date is. Black Panther 2. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be there for Black Panther 2. As a matter of fact, I might go see the shit. Wakanda Forever. Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever. When does that drop? November the 11th. That's my mom's birthday. So November the 11th. So yeah, at that time it's gonna be going down. Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever is going to break all the records. But at the same time, I say that to say that we should no longer be supporting films that don't show us equally to what Black Panther does. I know that Viola Davis has a movie coming out as well too. It's called The Woman King, which appears to be another movie that is going to show black people in a positive light. But that Emmett Till movie, and you know, I just don't want to relive that stuff anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like being raised on Roots and like, you know, all of these movies that I mean, damn, like 12 Years a Slave and shit, you name it. Underground. That's a TV show. All of these Harriet Tubman, like motherfuck, like damn, like how much fucking more do we need? Like, do we really need to absorb this shit? Do we really need to raise our kids on this shit? Like, no, it's time for black people to embrace being seen in a higher light than what we have been. Like, no more of the fucking like trauma film stuff. Like, no more of that. Like, I'm not with it. And I don't think any of y'all should support it as well too, man. Save your money and show us something fucking new. But man, like that, and you know, if y'all could have been there that day, man, like I was absolutely stunned by the story that I was hearing and how close and connected it was to what happened to Emmett Till. And to think that there could have been possibly more than one victim, because obviously the fucking girl was she was lying in the first place. So she was just calling out any brother that she can possibly see to go down for this. So, you know, it's messed up, man, that kind of evil exists in our world. And you know, what happened to Emmett Till will never, ever, ever, ever be forgotten. But I'm just not up for seeing it on TV anymore. I'm really not. I don't want my kids to be raised. Not that I want them to ignore the history or look over the history. But I just don't want them to just be engulfed in all of the negative, the black oppressed movies that we've been exposed to all of these years. And they just keep making this shit over and over again as if like there aren't any other fucking narratives. So yeah, like I'm excited for The Woman King with Viola Davis. She plays a warrior. I'm not sure. I haven't really done any research on it, but I saw the trailer and I was like, yo, this shit this shit going down, like for sure. So, you know, with that being said, man, I hope that y'all go out and support this movie with Viola Davis, man. And Black Panther 2 gonna be lit. I know. I seen a video the dude was talking about. He's telling everybody to wear white, to show solidarity and everybody unify. So all of the stuff, like all of the shit that black people are gonna do for Black Panther, like I'm all for it. Like I'm with the shit. So whether you want to come in all white, whether you want to come in black, whether you want to come in a damn Black Panther suit, dressed as T'Challa, I know it's going to be a fucking spectacle. I know it's going to be a show. Every movie theater in America will be a red carpet for the release of Black Panther. I'm telling you, shit is going to be bananas in every movie theater in every part of the United States or the world. The movie theaters are going to be fucking bananas. You hear me? Like the movie theaters are going to be crazy. I don't know if I'm going to go as far as actually getting a suit. I have no idea what I'm wearing. Even if I don't participate in wearing all white or anything like that, I will be there for the shits. Like I will be there for the shits, screaming Wakanda forever. Hold my fist up. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be such a good time. I know how some people feel. I get it. Like I understand that this is not a black owned film and I wish it was, but I know a lot of black people they get upset at the fact that we keep pouring our money and we giving wealth to them about movies that don't necessarily benefit us. So I understand that. So if you somebody who does not believe in pouring your money into things that have like black representation, but black people aren't necessarily benefiting from it. Like I get that. If you somebody who just don't want to partake in that, like I get it. Like I completely understand. But at the same time, there are going to be people who are going to be celebrating this. And like I said before, with the passing of Chadwick Boseman, it's going to be crazy. Like people are going to show up in crowns and shit. Like I'm just waiting to see the video. I want to see somebody who's going to come in with like the 5-foot, like royalty robe, like draped behind them in like gold or some shit like that. Like I'm waiting to see that person. Shout out to the person I want y'all, listen, I hope these outfits are absolutely crazy. I want y'all to come in fucking tambourines and shit, like in war paint. It's going to be fucking bonkers, man. And I'm with the shits. I am with the shits. I'm with the shit. Now I'll probably, like I said, I ain't gonna probably be dressed up or nothing like that, but I'm definitely gonna be with it, man. But yeah, man, telling y'all that story, man, like, I wish I had, some contact information for Mr. P. And I called him Mr. P. Or I wrote it down as Mr. P because I didn't want to disclose his identity or anything like that. As a matter of fact, when I even wrote it down, I didn't even write his name in there. So, but yeah, man, that story, just how the universe works, man. How the universe works. Just to add, I was just fascinated at the other aspect to the story. Like, yo, like, damn, man, like he was right there. He was right there. So he knew Emmett Till personally. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that they, from the same city, and the fact that they both, Emmett was from Chicago. So it's like, it's crazy. Like it's absolutely crazy. Like they both had family in Chicago and they both went to visit Chicago, around the same time. And he had just so happened to come back and to run into that store, man, and be falsely accused of some shit by this evil lady, man. And, what led up to happening to Emmett later, man, is just crazy how things go sometimes, man. But yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to read for y'all today, man, and just get on here and just tell y'all, man, like no more black trauma, no more oppressed films. Like it's time for some new shit. We not really riding with that no more. We looking for something new. We looking for stuff that's going to uplift us, man. So definitely go check out Viola Davis movie, The Woman King, because she looks damn good. She looks absolutely phenomenal in this movie. Rip. So I can only imagine the amount of work and training that went into. I'm looking at pictures now. I can only imagine the pictures, the training that went into this shit. Because let me see. Let me look up Viola Davis. Viola Davis she 57 years old. Shit, where? If you seen this movie, where? She looked damn good. The shit that she doing at 57. Damn. She looked damn good, man. She looked damn good. Speaking of looking damn good, y'all seen Angela Bassett lately? Angela Bassett looks so damn good, boy. Angela Bassett is forever cold. Oh my God. Angela Bassett is beautiful, man. Absolutely beautiful. I'm looking at pictures of her now. Woo, sweet Jesus. Sweet Jesus, boy. The ageless one. 57 years old. Looking damn good. Big wheels keep on turning. I better keep on burning. And it's rolling on the river, rolling on the river. Black people, man, y'all know what, man? When these damn movies come out, y'all know how we remember these damn lines in these movies. You can talk to people today. You remember when people would quote all the lines from, what's that? What's Love Got to Do with It? Damn, boy, she look good, and What's Love Got to Do with it, too? I'm a fan of Angela Bassett. And Viola Davis as well, too. She's an outstanding actor. And to be doing what she's doing in this movie at 57, man, is Jesus. Woo. Listen, man, don't be sleeping on the black woman. Man. 1 minute, boy. Whew. I'm just hoping at 57, I still look this good. Like, for real. Y'all listen. Y'all better listen. Y'all see Angela Bassett and some of these other black women. Y'all wonder how they out here looking so good. What's old girl's name on Country Wayne's, on Instagram? Ro. I can't think of her name. I'm gonna go to her Instagram page real quick. Ro girl. Rolanda Rochelle. Listen. I don't know if she's in her 50s, but looking good. Hey, I'm telling y'all gotta stop drinking so damn much. That's why this is Lunchline Podcast, man. We always talk about health on here. Health as well. Listen, y'all better stop drinking so goddamn much. Y'all better connect with that sea moss and start eating more melons and fruits. Cause if y'all want to start looking like y'all out here popping and twerking and all that, I get it. But listen, y'all better take care of y'all bodies. Y'all better do some fitness. Y'all better walk or run. Y'all better leave all that bad food alone, man. If y'all want to look like Angela Bassett and Rolanda Rochelle at 50, in their 50s later in life, you gonna have to change your lifestyle. Like, for real. Cause these women out here killing it, man. They look good. I'm talking to my sisters. Listen. I'm telling you, you got to start taking care of yourself. Cause I'm still trying to be my dream. And this is a crazy dream. And y'all know I'm bald, right? I'm bald. I can't grow a beard. But I've always had a dream of being a silver fox. So when I'm like 50 and 60, like I've always wanted to be a silver fox, you know. So shit don't pan out with my beard coming in. I might just fuck around and just go, you know, y'all got the glues now. So women y'all wear the glues in your hair. Would y'all hate if I had the glue joint? Would y'all put the silver fox grays in when I'm like 60? So my dad had, you know, he had the gray joint in pretty heavy. So hopefully, you know, when I get up in there in age and I get around that age, I can like be a complete silver fox. Like I've always wanted to be just a silver fox, just like you're like, oh man, who daddy is this? That's me. That's who I am. Who granddaddy is this? That's me. That's just what it is. That's what it is. So I say that to say, listen, if y'all want to look good later in life, you have to take care of yourself now. You got to take care of yourself now. You got to be more active. Bros, listen to me, fellas. Y'all got to be more active. I know y'all like to eat. I know y'all like to go out. I know y'all work hard. I know y'all do all of these things, but you got to take better care of yourself. But we're going to keep up with these women in that later in life. We're going to have to be around for it, and we're going to have to make sure that we taking care of ourselves. Cause y'all ain't trying to get traded in for a younger model, right? So you got to eat better to make sure your body parts work, your heavenly body parts work. You got to make sure you eat better. You got to keep your fruit going, get you some sea moss, look at you get into the herbs and the juice fasting and all that stuff, man. Cause we can't be out here getting traded in. Cause, you know, I'm I'm in that second half of life going into this. So like, man, I gotta make sure that I'm right. Cause like, ain't no young whippersnapper taking my girl. But yeah, man, y'all gotta take care of yourself, man. Cause some of you bros gonna get traded in for younger models, man. You know what I'm saying? If you my age, man, don't sleep, man. You out here, your body falling apart and you ain't eating the right stuff, man. And your soldier boy ain't working all the way. Your third leg ain't working all the way, man. And your old lady, and if she looking this good, if she looking good as Rolanda Rochelle, bro, girl, man, listen, if she looking that good, bro, younger model, man, younger model. I'm just saying, like, y'all got to do something about it, man. But anyway, I just want to talk to y'all, man. Thank y'all for spending time with me today, man. This is, in fact, the Lunchline Podcast, man, the greatest podcast that you never heard, man. Going into this weekend, man, make sure y'all have a great weekend. Make sure y'all stay safe, man. Love your family, love yourself. Don't stress out over no shit that you can't control. Just realize that, man. Some stuff you can't control. Anything that you can't control that's out of your control, don't even trip over the shit. You know what I'm saying? You can't decide whether the sun rise or set. All right. So a lot of things that are out of your control, you have to let them go. There's some stuff that you can't control, but what you can control that. You can control your emotions. You can control how you feel. You can control how you think. You don't have to be upset any longer about what people say or think about you. You don't. And this is just, Lunchline Podcast, word to the wise. Like, don't harbor on what people say about you. You know what I'm saying? It's their job to do that shit. They're just doing that shit. It just is what it is. You're responsible for how you react, and you're responsible for how you think and feel afterwards. So yeah, man, don't worry about people say about you, man. They're supposed to do that. It's nothing you can control. So as I said before, think good things about yourself. You set your own identity. You make up in your mind the type of person that you want to be, the image that you want to portray, and do that, man. But y'all know it's all love, man. Until next time, man, I'll get at y'all next week. Y'all take care. Peace.